The Suncoast Campaign for Grade Level Reading presents This Book is Cool. With your host, Beth Duda. Coming up, Miss Beth will have a special arts activity, words to put in your word bank, and a special interview with a person who thinks the book you are reading is cool.
Hello, my friends. Welcome to This Book is Cool. My name is Beth Duda, and I'm the director of the Suncoast Campaign for Grade Level Reading. I'm very excited about the book that we have to talk about today. It's called Young Frederick Douglass, and I'm excited about it because Frederick Douglass is one of my very favorite people from history. I have learned a lot about him, and I was delighted when we found a book that features his story. And today we have a very special guest with us. This gentleman is an actor, a playwright, and a director, and I know him because he played Frederick Douglass in a play. With us today we have Joel P.E. King.
Black soldiers are paid only about half of what white troops earn and are not promoted no matter how bravely they have fought.
Mr. Douglass.
Hi, Joel.
Hello, how you all doing today?
It's so good to have you here. I was so excited when I learned that one of our selected books was about Frederick Douglass. And then I thought, oh my goodness, the only guest we can have to do this, it's got to be Joel. And I was so pleased that you agreed to come and talk to us today.
Well, Beth, it's always a pleasure. Always a pleasure with you.
So this book about young Frederick Douglass, I'm excited to share his story with our friends because he had an extraordinary life, and everything in this book really happened. This is a non-fiction book about an individual who lived for many, many years and was one of the most famous men in America when he was alive. Joel, why do you think this book is so cool?
You know, one of the main reasons I think this book is so cool because Frederick Douglass had taught himself to read and to write, so that he would be able to even interpret the book himself this day if he were here to tell the story. I think this book is cool because it talks about a man who was a pillar of hope, who worked his way out of so many bad circumstances to create good in the world, even with so many things around him that did not feel good, look good. You know, he was able to fight beyond that to make a difference in this world.
You know, many of us went to school and had many teachers who taught us how to read. And he wanted to learn how to read so much that he went out and found people who could teach him the alphabet or teach him a little bit. And he learned from many different people, but not in a school setting. He went out and educated himself. He was famous for being a writer. He was famous for being a speaker. And he was an inspirational figure for millions of people all around the world because his words had so much wisdom and so much truth. Even to this day, I know many people who have quotes from Frederick Douglass on their refrigerator or on, bookmarks. He used his words to inspire the whole world.
So one of the other things that I think that makes Frederick Douglass so cool is that once he learned how to read and write, he didn't keep it to himself. He went and he taught other slaves how to read and to write. And how amazing is that, especially during a time where that was a little bit of like a no-no. You're not supposed to do those types of things.
When you and I were working on the play, Abraham Lincoln and Frederick Douglass, A Walk to Respect, one of the things we talked about was how Frederick Douglass used his words to inspire others to be the best that they could be. He wasn't working only for himself. I think the way we phrased it is he put his country before himself.
of him. When he spoke, you had to listen. You know, his words were so profound, so good, so rich that you had to listen.
One reason why I am not ashamed to be here is this. I have a right to be here and a duty to perform here. That right is a constitutional right, as well as a natural right. It belongs to every citizen of the United States.
Well, I just thank you for the opportunity to be able to have done that because it was such a time where apparently Frederick Douglass, the energy of him wanted to like sit in me, and it rested in me in such a great way. It grew me up some more as a man, you know, and as a Black man, just giving me more insight to where we've come from to where we are today. And I'm just amazed by it.
Many of the lessons that inspire me and have inspired you, I hope our young friends are also inspired.
Absolutely, because Frederick Douglass is cool.
Indeed. Well, Joel,
Yes.
Thank you so much for being with us today. It's always so great to see you.
Thank you, Beth. Thank you to the whole team. You guys are amazing. Thank you. Anytime, anytime.
It's always nice to spend time with Joel P.E. King. He's such a talented artist and did such a remarkable job portraying Frederick Douglass. This book, Young Frederick Douglass, has some wonderful words for our word bank. The first word for our word bank is the word plantation. Plantation. That means a large farm or an estate that's used for growing rubber, cotton, or other crops to sell. Plantation. Another word for our word bank is the word cornmeal. Cornmeal. That's corn that has been ground up into a rough powder, and many times it's used for cooking. The next word for our word bank is the word Maryland. Maryland. Maryland is a state in the eastern United States. It lies on the Atlantic coast between Delaware and Virginia. That's where Frederick Douglass was born. Another word for our word bank is the word abolitionist. Abolitionist. That means a person who wants to stop or abolish slavery. And our final word for our word bank is the word shipyard. Shipyard. That's a place where ships are built or repaired. Shipyard. Frederick Douglass wrote his own newspaper, and he published it from Rochester, New York. And our activity today is going to be to encourage you to write your own newspaper. You can do it by setting it up to look like a newspaper. You can color in the pictures if you want to. But what you have to start with is, what is it that you want other people to read about? You could write a story about a great dinner that you had. You could write a story about people in your neighborhood, or maybe something exciting happened to you or to one of your friends or your neighbors. You could interview those people and then write that story down so that other people can learn what you already know. Writing your own newspaper can be a great way for you to capture the stories of your family that you could keep forever as a keepsake. I like that our newspaper is named the Duda Daily because my last name is Duda. I wonder what you would name your newspaper. Well, if you think of something clever, I hope you'll share it with us. You can send a picture of your newspaper or maybe one of your newspaper stories to us at connect@gradelevelreadingsuncoast.net. Remember, my friends, reading is the key to succeeding, and I wish you many enjoyable hours with a book in your lap, with your imagination taking you all kinds of wonderful places. It's always great to be with you. Until the next time, bye-bye for now.
And he said in a voice which was heard all around, "There is my friend Douglas.